Hello, dear students, and welcome to Civil Staff. So, guys, welcome everyone to this session of UPSC CSAT for English Paper 2. And guys, today we are going to actually discuss some comprehensions from the previous year, right? So, guys, if you can hear me and if you can, if the stream is okay, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Solar Eclipse. Okay. Good afternoon, Ankit. So, guys, let's begin the session. And today we'll be discussing some previous year comprehensions that were given in the year 2017. Good afternoon, Ankit. Hello, Khushi. Hello, everyone. So, guys, are you ready? So, take out your pen and paper and be ready with your question and answers today. And everybody has to participate. Nobody can just sit idle and just watch the session. So, guys, are you ready? Give me a yes or a no. So, we'll be discussing comprehensions today from the year 2017. And let's see whatever we learned in our previous sessions, can we put that to use or not? तो guys, जो भी हमने पिछले सेशंस में सीखा है वो अब इस सेशन में हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. All right, Sneha is ready, Kushal is ready. What about the rest of you guys? I hope all of you are ready. So guys, this is the first passage in front of you. So let's read the passage and let's try to answer the questions. Right. So what we discussed was, first of all, look at the question so that we'll be able to find out the real answer. So let's first of all always read the questions, guys. Which of the following is the most rational inference from the above passage? So guys, we have to find a rational inference. So what is an inference, guys? Inference is whatever logical data or whatever logical fact that has been conveyed in the passage. That is what we call inference, right? So now let's read the passage and let's try to figure out the most logical inference that is given in the passage, right? Absolutely. So guys, let's begin. Let's read out the passage. Climate change is likely to expose a large number of people to increasing environmental risks, forcing them to migrate. Okay, so what the author has opened up with, he's saying that climate change is likely to expose, so that it may happen that a large number of people, may face the risks of environmental, climate changes and environmental risks, forcing them to migrate. Migration is to move from one place to another. एक जगह से दूसरी जगह माइग्रेट कर जाना, राइट? तो वो क्या कह रहे हैं कि हो सकता है कि क्लाइमेट चेंज फोर्स कर दे बहुत सारे लोगों को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे मूव करने के लिए, माइग्रेट करने के लिए, बिकॉज ऑफ द इंक्रीजिंग एनवायरमेंटल रिस्क्स. The international community is yet to recognize this new category of migrants. इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी ने इस कैटेगरी ऑफ माइग्रेंट्स को अब तक रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं किया है. There is no consensus on the definition and the status of climate refugees, owing to the distinct meaning of the term refugees carry under international laws. और इसका वजह क्या है कि इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी ने ये जो जिनको हम बोल रहे हैं ना क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज, पीपल हु आर माइग्रेटिंग ड्यू टू climate changes or environmental risks due to climate changes. So this migration has not yet been recognized by the international community because the term refugee has different meanings and definitions in their laws. There are still gaps in understanding. So there are still gaps in understanding how climate change will work as the root cause of migration. So this is yet to be understood that how climate change will work as the root cause of migration. It will happen in the future, right? आगे होगा कि कैसे क्लाइमेट चेंज जो वातावरण में जो बदलाव आ रहा है वो लोगों के शिफ्ट कर जाने का मेन कारण बन जाएगा। ये ऐसा होगा, ये अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा है लोगों को। ये कहना चाह रहा है ऑथर यहाँ पे। इवन इफ देयर इज रिकग्निशन ऑफ क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज, और चाहे उनको पहचान भी लिया जाए, हु इज गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड प्रोटेक्शन? उनको प्रोटेक्शन देगा कौन अगर रेफ्यूजी बोल रहे हैं उनको तो, राइट? सो मोर एम्फोसिस हैज बीन गिवन टू इंटरनेशनल माइग्रेशन ड्यू टू क्लाइमेट चेंज। इस ज्यादा अहमियत इंटरनेशनल माइग्रेशन को दी गई है, but there is a need to recognize the migration of such people within the countries also, so that their problems can be addressed properly. लेकिन सिर्फ यही नहीं होना चाहिए कि इंटरनेशनल माइग्रेशन को ही ध्यान देना चाहिए। जो इंट्रा नेशन जो माइग्रेशन होती है, मतलब एक ही देश के अंदर अंदर जो लोग मूव कर जाते हैं किसी एक स्टेट से दूसरी स्टेट में ड्यू टू क्लाइमेट चेंज और ड्यू टू इन्वायरमेंटल रिस्क, जैसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं, एग्जांपल देता हूँ, दिल्ली में ऐसे बहुत ज्यादा पॉल्यूटेड सिटीज हैं, गाजियाबाद या ऐसे बहुत सारे एरियाज हैं जो बहुत पॉल्यूटेड है, तो उनको शिफ्ट करके वो क्या करता है, अपना बिजनेस या अपनी एटलीस्ट रेजिडेंस थोड़े अच्छे शहरों में चले जाते हैं जहाँ पे थोड़ा सा एनवायरनमेंट क्लीनर है, जैसे इंदौर हो गया या चंडीगढ़ हो गया या और ऊपर शिमला हो गया। तो पीपल ट्राई टू मूव, और ये माइग्रेशन जो होती है ना, इसी को वो कह रहे हैं कि इसको एड्रेस करना बहुत जरूरी है। तो दिस वाज द passage. Now let's see what are the options, and now we'll be able to use the elimination method. Now I'll teach you guys कि एलिमिनेशन मेथड क्या होता है, कैसे होता है और कैसे हमें उसको यूज करना है। नाउ लेट्स रीड द ऑप्शंस। फर्स्ट ऑप्शन इज द वर्ल्ड विल नॉट बी एबल टू कोप विद लार्ज स्केल माइग्रेशन ऑफ क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज। कि दुनिया लार्ज स्केल माइग्रेशन से कोप नहीं कर पाएगी। ओके, ये इन्फ्रेंस है पैसेज का। लेकिन आगे पढ़ते हैं एक बार। वी मस्ट फाइंड द वेज एंड मीन्स टू स्टॉप फर्दर क्लाइमेट चेंज। क्या ये फैक्ट गिवन है पैसेज में? क्लाइमेट चेंज विल बी द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन फॉर माइग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल इन द फ्यूचर। पक्का होगा ये फ्यूचर में, ये वो कह रहा है क्लाइमेट चेंज। और फोर्थ है रिलेशन बिटवीन क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड माइग्रेशन इज नॉट येट प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टूड। आई थिंक गाइस ऑप्शन नंबर ए और बी तो हम एलिमिनेट कर सकते हैं, ये तो लॉजिकल है ही नहीं, राइट? द वर्ल्ड विल नॉट बी एबल टू कोप विद लार्ज स्केल माइग्रेशन ऑफ क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज, ये कहीं पे गिवन नहीं है। एंड वी मस्ट फाइंड वेज एंड मीनिंग्स टू स्टॉप फर्दर क्लाइमेट चेंज, ये अजम्पशन हो जाता, ये अज्यूम किया जा रहा है कि इसकी वजह से इतना सब हो सकता है, तो ये करना चाहिए, या कंक्लूजन हो सकता था ये। लेकिन ये इन्फ्रेंस नहीं है। इन्फ्रेंस या सी या डी, इन दोनों में से एक था गाइस। सी क्या कह रहा है? क्लाइमेट चेंज विल बी द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन फॉर द माइग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल इन द फ्यूचर। ये इन्फ्रेंस है, रैशनल इन्फ्रेंस। या रिलेशन बिटवीन क्लाइमेट चेंज एंड माइग्रेशन इज नॉट येट प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टूड। सुखेंद्र को सी लग रहा है, सोलर क्लिप्स को भी सी लग रहा है, कुशल को भी सी लग रहा है, बाकी सबको डी लग रहा है। देखो इन्फ्रेंस क्या था गाइस? एक लॉजिकल फैक्ट उसने ऑल्दो उसने दिया हुआ, देखो इसने ये नहीं दिया हुआ कि क्लाइमेट चेंज विल वर्क एज द रूट कॉज ऑफ माइग्रेशन। उसने क्या दिया हुआ? देयर आर स्टिल गैप्स इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग। ये समझने में अभी बहुत गैप्स हैं, ये समझने में अभी बहुत टाइम लगेगा। ये कह रहा है वो कि कैसे आगे चल के हो सकता है कि क्लाइमेट चेंज रूट कॉज ऑफ माइग्रेशन बन जाए, बट ये इन्फ्रेंस नहीं है इस पैसेज का। वो क्या कहना चाह रहा है? इस सेंटेंस में भी यही कहना चाह रहा है कि इट हैज नॉट बीन प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टूड, कि क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से और माइग्रेशन होना, इन दोनों के बीच का जो रिलेशनशिप है ये प्रॉपरली अब तक समझा नहीं गया है। इस चीज पे फोकस करने की कोशिश कर रहा है वो। सो द करेक्ट इन्फ्रेंस हेयर इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी गाइस, नॉट सी, डी। क्लाइमेट चेंज विल बी द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन फॉर माइग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल इन द फ्यूचर। अब ये समझने में अभी बहुत कमी है, ये है पूरा सेंटेंस, तो ध्यान से पढ़ना है हमें इस चीज को ना। सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन हेयर वाज ऑप्शन नंबर डी गाइस। वेरी वेल डन सौम्या, स्नेहा, खुशी, अंकित, सुम्या, लंकापली, नवीन, जूही, वेरी वेल डन, पूजा, वेरी गुड हर्षित, गुड डे आयान गाइस, गुड जॉब। और एवरीबडी हैज टू पार्टिसिपेट। यार गलत हो जाए कोई बात नहीं, और वी विल लर्न फ्रॉम आवर मिस्टेक्स। कि सर ये भी तो गिवन है, लेकिन पूरा सेंटेंस पढ़ो क्या गिवन है, कि देयर आर स्टिल गैप्स इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग हाउ क्लाइमेट चेंज विल वर्क, कि कैसे क्लाइमेट चेंज काम करेगा, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन इट विल बी द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन फॉर माइग्रेशन। ये समझने में अभी बहुत गैप्स बाकी हैं, ये कह रहा है। The relation between climate change and migration is not yet properly understood. ये समझाना चाह रहे हैं इस पूरे पैसेज से। तो दिस इज द रैशनल इन्फ्रेंस, राइट। चलो लेट्स गो टू पैसेज नंबर 2 एंड लेट्स ट्राई टू गाइस, हम धीरे धीरे अपना लेवल बिल्डअप करेंगे। तो ये एक्चुअल पैसेजेस हैं जो आपके एग्जाम में आते हैं। ये 2017 में आए थे आपके पेपर में, आपके सीसैट के पेपर में। तो इनको ये मत समझना कि मॉक टेस्ट हैं, ये एग्जैक्टली वही पैसेजेस हैं और वही क्वेश्चंस हैं जो आपके एग्जाम में आए हैं। ठीक है, तो हम प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस करना शुरू कर रहे हैं ताकि हम बिल्कुल रेलेवेंट लेवल के क्वेश्चंस कर पाए। ठीक है, चलो गाइस, लेट्स रीड इट आउट, बट फर्स्ट रीड द क्वेश्चन। Which among the following is the most logical and rational inference? So again, we have to find inference that can be made from the above passage. So inference ढूंढना है हमें फिर से guys. So please read it carefully. Yes, guys. An air quality index is a way to combine measurements of multiple air pollutants into a single number or rating. तो एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स क्या होता है? इट्स अ वे टू कंबाइन मेजरमेंट ऑफ मल्टीपल एयर पॉल्यूटेंट्स इनटू अ सिंगल नंबर और रेटिंग। उसे एयर क्वालिटी AQI बोलते हैं, राइट। दिस इंडेक्स इज आइडियली केप्ट कॉन्स्टेंटली अपडेटेड एंड अवेलेबल इन डिफरेंट प्लेसेस। ये हर जगह पे अवेलेबल रहता है और अपडेटेड भी रखा जाता है इसको, कि हर रोज डेली बेसिस पे एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स किस जगह का क्या है, राइट। द AQI इज मोस्ट यूजफुल व्हेन लॉट्स ऑफ पोल्यूशन डेटा आर बीइंग गैदर्ड। कब AQI यूजफुल होता है? जब बहुत सारे दिनों का पोल्यूशन डेटा इकट्ठा किया जाता है, एंड व्हेन पोल्यूशन लेवल्स आर नॉर्मली बट नॉट ऑलवेज लो। नॉर्मली एटलीस्ट जहां पे पोल्यूशन लेवल्स लो रहते हैं वहां पे AQI को ज्यादा यूज किया जाता है। इन सच केसेस इफ पोल्यूशन levels spike for a few days, the public can quickly take preventive actions like staying indoors in response to an air quality warning. तो ये उन जगह पे कारगर होता है एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स जहां पे नॉर्मली जो आपका पोल्यूशन लेवल है वो काफी मतलब लो रहे। तो वहां पे काम आता है कि अगर बाय चांस किसी वजह से मान लो कोई फैक्ट्री में आग लग गई, या कोई जैसे फॉरेस्ट बुश फायर या फॉरेस्ट फायर हो गया, जंगल फायर जैसे हम बोलते हैं, अगर किसी एरिया में वो शुरू हो गया और वहां अगर एयर क्वालिटी है, जैसे हम देखते हैं सर्दियों में स्टबल बर्निंग की वजह से बहुत ज्यादा वो हो जाता है, मतलब सर्दियों से कुछ दिन पहले जब स्टबल बर्निंग करते हैं कुछ एरियाज में इंडिया में, तो वहां पे एयर क्वालिटी बहुत पुअर हो जाती है कुछ दिनों के लिए। तो वहां पे ये चीज कामयाब है कि जहाँ पे आप लोगों को वार्निंग दे सकते हो कि भाई एयर क्वालिटी खराब हो रही है कुछ दिनों के लिए, तो यू शुड टेक प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स लाइक स्टेइंग इंडोर्स। वो लोग घरों में रह सकते हैं, तो ये वहां पे कारगर होती है ये चीज। अब आगे बढ़ते हैं। अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट इज नॉट अर्बन इंडिया। लेकिन बदकिस्मती से ये इंडिया की कहानी नहीं है। Pollution levels in many large Indian cities are so high. Pollution levels इंडिया की जो large cities है इतना high है that they remain well above any health or regulatory standard for large part of the year. कि वो इतना ज्यादा हाई रहते हैं कि या हेल्थ या रेगुलेटरी स्टैंडर्ड से पूरे साल ही वो हाई रहते हैं। मतलब इट इज ऑलवेज डेंजरस इन when we are talking about pollution levels in the large cities of India. So if our index stays in the red or dangerous region day after day, there is not much one can do other than getting used to ignoring it. अब जब यार हर रोज ही एयर क्वालिटी इंडेक्स रेड पे रहे तो सारा साल 12 महीने 24 घंटे, राइट, तो फिर आदमी क्या करे? मतलब फिर तो यार यही कर सकता है कि भाई यूज टू हो सकता है उसका, राइट, आदत बना सकते हैं। ये कहा है उसने इस पैसेज में, राइट। So, Naveen, yes, I'm explaining it in English as well. The author has tried to convey that air quality index is useful in areas where, usually the levels of pollutions are low, right? So, whenever if there is an incidence of pollution spike, people can be warned and they can take preventive measures. But the situation or the scenario of Indian cities, it's quite different. Reason being, the pollution levels in Indian cities is it's already so high all over the year that it is pointless to take AQI into consideration. And the only thing what one can do in Indian large cities is to getting used to it, getting used to ignoring it, right? So अब options पढ़ते हैं guys. So what could be the logical and rational inference? So first is, our governments are not responsible enough to keep our cities pollution free. I think government has not been I think mentioned anywhere in the passage. So I think we can eliminate that. Let's read further. There is absolutely no need for air quality indices in our country. हमारी कंट्री में एयर क्वालिटी इंडाइसेस की जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो गाइस हमेशा याद रखना, जब भी ऑप्शंस एक्सट्रीम में चले जाते हैं, guys, these options are always wrong. So there is absolutely no need. Absolutely no need means that has gone to extreme. So guys, always remember to eliminate extreme options out of the options. Always remember, unless it is specifically mentioned in the passage, you have to eliminate the extreme options, guys. You will very frequently see extreme options which have to be eliminated, and I'll keep on pointing these out to you, right? Let's read further. Air quality index is not helpful to the residents of many of our large cities. Yes. And D, in every city, public awareness about pollution problems should increase. Now, this can be an assumption, but this is not an inference. So I think we have understood what should be the logical inference here, guys. Absolutely correct. The correct answer was option number C, that air quality index is not helpful to the residents of many of our large cities, because being so polluted, they get used to ignoring it. So they started with the definition of AQI, then where they are useful in areas where pollution levels are usually low. But India, it has no use, because most of the large cities in India have so high pollution levels throughout the year that there is no point checking out their quality index daily, because it's already in the red zone, right? So the correct inference was option number C. Very well done, Ankit, Harsh, Naveen, very well done, Khushi, Juhi, Sukhendra, very good, Somya, Rekha, very well done, Naveen, very good, Pooja. D could be conclusion. Yes, it could be a conclusion or an assumption that it should be done. Yeah, it should increase. So it could be a conclusion or it could be an assumption, but not an inference. Very well done, guys. So all of you are getting it, I mean, all the way correct. Good job. We will take up one more passage today, and we will keep on practicing these passages like this, right? So let's read passage number 3 and let's try to solve this one, guys. So first read the question, which among the following is the most logical and rational inference? So again, inference based question, guys, that can be made from the above passage, right? So let's read the passage and let's find out the most logical and rational inference. Yes, guys, productive jobs are vital for growth, and a good job is the best form of inclusion. So he has started with his passage with the first line is always quite important, guys. Productive jobs which are productive are vital for growth, and a good job is the best form of inclusion. He's talking about financial inclusion, guys, right? Where everybody is brought into the earning sector, the economic sector, economic growth of the country. So that's what he's talking about, productive jobs. Next, more than half of our population depends on agriculture. That's true. 58% of the Indian population is directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture. But the experience of other countries suggests that the number of people dependent on agriculture will have to shrink if per capita incomes in agriculture are to go up substantially. कि जब लोग कम होंगे उस सेक्टर में, तभी पर कैपिटा इनकम एग्रीकल्चर में ऊपर जा पाएगी. यही दूसरे कंट्रीज का एक्सपीरियंस सजेस्ट करता है. So it is it can be understood by the experience of other countries that the number of people dependent on agriculture sector will have to go down if per capita income of farmers have to go up. So it's a inversely based, inversely related ratio. That if there are too many people in agriculture, obviously the per capita income will be low. But if there are if there are less people in agriculture sector, obviously the per capita income of this particular sector will go up, right? So that's what he's conveyed up till now. Let's read further, guys. While industry is creating jobs, while service sector industry is creating jobs, too many such jobs are low productivity or non-contractual jobs in the unorganized sector. So although industry is creating jobs, but most of these jobs, or too many of such jobs, are low productivity, non-contractual. That means There is no contract, and this is basically an unorganized sector. People working in unorganized sector, like laborers who do not have any formal way of calculating what are their wages, and they cannot be brought into the organized economy of the country. So most of these jobs are in unorganized sector, offering low incomes, little protection, and no benefits. So service jobs are relatively of high productivity, but employment growth in services has been slow in the recent years. So industry, so he basically is talking about the companies, the industries in the country, they are creating jobs, but they are non-contractual unorganized sector jobs which offer low incomes, little protection, and no benefits. Service sector, obviously, the productivity in service sector is relatively high, but employment growth in the services sector has been slow in the recent years, right? All right, so this was the whole passage. Now let's read the options and let's see what could be the logical inference that he has to convey here. First, we must create conditions for the faster growth of highly productive service jobs to ensure employment growth and inclusion. All right. We must shift the farm workers to the highly productive manufacturing and service sectors to ensure the economic growth and inclusion. Right. We must create conditions for the faster growth of productive jobs outside of agriculture, even while improving the productivity of agriculture. All right. And we must emphasize the cultivation of high yielding hybrid varieties and genetically modified crops to increase the per capita income in agriculture. I think we can eliminate option number D, that was nowhere spoken of in the passage, right? Now let's see, guys, what do you say? We must create conditions for faster growth of highly productive service jobs to ensure employment growth and inclusion. Okay. Or we must shift the farm workers to highly productive manufacturing and service sectors to ensure the economic growth and inclusion. We must create conditions for the faster growth of productive jobs outside of agriculture, even while improving the productivity of agriculture. Guys, please read the options very carefully. That is very, very important. Harsh, Juhi, Ankit, Naveen, Sumya, please read this. We must create conditions for the faster growth of highly productive service jobs. So guys, they are relatively high productivity. They are comparatively, they are higher in productivity, but they are not highly productive service jobs to ensure employment growth and inclusion. This was also about farmers, how to improve, the different sectors and the situation we are stuck with. More than 50% of the population is dependent on agriculture, right? While the industries are creating jobs, most of these jobs are unorganized sector. In the service sector, I mean, the jobs are of higher productivity as compared to these sectors, but employment growth in services has been slow in the recent years. So these are not highly productive service jobs, guys. Please read carefully whenever you're choosing your options. So that's where this single word will, eliminate this option. We must create conditions for faster growth of highly productive service job. They're not highly productive. They're relatively high. They have relatively high productivity. That means they are comparatively of higher productivity, right? But this was also about farmers. So we can eliminate option number A. Now let's read B. We must shift the farm workers to the highly productive manufacturing and service sectors. Again, wrong. Highly productive manufacturing sector is not highly productive. It is contradictory. It is unorganized, offering low incomes, low protection, and no benefits. So that is contradictory. And C is we must create conditions for the faster growth of productive jobs, right? Not highly productive, only productive jobs outside of agriculture, even while improving the productivity of agriculture. Got it? So the correct option here was, the rational inference was option number C, that we must create conditions for the faster growth of productive jobs outside of agriculture, even while improving the productivity of agriculture. So the only way is when we shift most of the, or a large number of people dependent on agriculture into manufacturing sector or a service sector, and even while at the same time you know improving the growth of productive jobs in these sectors, at the same time helping agriculture sector to increase the per capita income. Got it, guys? Good afternoon, Brigu. You're late. So the correct option was option number C. Very well done, Ritesh, Harsh, Soumya, Rekha, Naveen, Mehak. Khushi, very well done, Ankit. Very good, solar eclipse. Very good, Sneha. Good job. Got it, guys. So now tell me your score. How many questions did you get right, and how many questions did you get wrong? 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3, 1 out of 3, 0 out of 3. What's your score, guys? 3 out of 2. Shabash, Naveen. I think it should be 2 out of 3. 3 of 2 nahi, 2 of 3. Okay, Ankit, 2 out of 3. Harsh 2, Joey 2, Sumya 2, Riteshi 1 out of 1. Good job. Very good, Khushi. 3 out of 3. Good job. Keep it up. Very good. Solar eclipse, Sukendra 1. Need to work hard, Sukendra. राइट, थोड़ा सा हमें एनालिटिकल हो जाना है गाइज. इतने इजी भी नहीं होते क्वेश्चंस कि आप इतना सिंपली आप सोच रहे हो कि एक बार पढ़ते ही आ जाएगा आंसर. यू नो, दे आर शॉर्ट पैसेजेस बट दे आर हाईली informative and every word plays a very crucial role, so don't miss that out. Okay, and guys, I'm also going to give you a homework passage today. Guys, the answer of this passage has to be not given here. You know, you have to read the passage later on, and then you have to give the answer in the comment section of this video. Got it? Sneha also got 3 out of 3. Khushi also got right. So 2 students got 3 out of 3. Good job, Sneha. Rest, most of you got 2 out of 3. So guys, we will work on that, and you know, we will be able to do it, but we need a lot of practice. We'll need a lot of, you know, we will need to make a lot of mistakes before we get to saturation, right? Before we get to the point where we find all the answers correct, right? So it will take a lot of time, but we should be happy that we are working in the right direction and we were able to find our mistakes, right? Got it, guys? So guys, this is your homework passage. So guys, I will not show you the questions. We will only read the passage. I will show you the questions later on, right? And you will have to answer this, answer the questions in the comment section of this video. Got it? All right, guys. So let's read the passage. I'll explain it to you, and then you can answer later on. Many farmers use synthetic pesticides. So guys, what are synthetic? Synthetic is artificially made, which is not natural, which is made by human beings. And pesticides, you know, used to kill insects or in the farms, in agriculture sector. So many farmers use synthetic pesticides to kill infesting insects, right? The consumption of pesticides in some of the developed countries is touching 3,000 grams per hectare. So the consumption is quite high in quite a few developed countries. Unfortunately, there are reports that these compounds possess inherent toxicities. That means they are toxic, they are dangerous, that endanger the health of the farm operators, farmers, consumers, and the environment. Synthetic pesticides are generally persistent in environment. Persistent means they do not break down. They stay in the ecological chain, ecological cycle, eco cycle जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना. So synthetic pesticides are generally persistent in environment. Entering in food chain, yes, they destroy the microbial diversity, absolutely, and cause ecological imbalance. So they cause ecological imbalance and they destroy the microbial diversity. Their indiscriminate use means their excessive use has resulted in development of resistance among insects to insecticides, upsetting the balance in nature and a resurgence of treated populations. So the excessive use of these synthetic pesticides has resulted in resistance among insects. That means they've developed resistance towards insecticides, and you know, if they do not die from insecticides, if they develop you know, resistance against insecticides, they will upset the balance in nature and the resurgence of treated population. The resurgence means coming back. Those insects which were previously treated with insecticides, they will resurge, they will come back because they have now developed a resistance against these insecticides, right? So this was about synthetic pesticides. Now, natural pest control using botanical pesticides. Botanical means not synthetic, natural pesticides made from plants and other natural, natural beings. So using botanical pesticides is safer to the user and the environment. So natural pest control using botanical pesticides is safer to the user and the environment because they break down. Yes, they break down into harmless compounds within hours or days in the presence of sunlight. Right, so that's why they are not dangerous. Plants with pesticide properties have been in nature for millions of years without any ill or adverse effects on ecosystem. So plants with pesticide properties have been in nature without any adverse effects on the ecosystem. They are easily decomposed by many microbes common in most soils. So they are easily decomposable. They break down very easily into harmless compounds. They help in maintenance of biological diversity of predators and the reduction of environmental contamination and human health hazards. So they help in maintaining biological diversity, eco diversity. They of the predators, right? Of the animals living in the area, reduction in environmental contamination and human health hazards. They are also less hazardous to humans, right? Botanical pesticides formulated from plants are biodegradable. Yes, means they can break down in they can be broke down they can break down in nature with the help of these natural pesticides, and their use in crop protection is a practical sustainable alternative, right? So guys, this was the passage. So this is your homework passage. Now there are, I think, two questions based on this. So you don't have to answer the questions right now. Now later on, read the passage again carefully, and then you can answer the questions in the comment section of this video, right? All right, guys. So we will. I'll give you the answers of this session of this homework passage in the next session, that is tomorrow. Right. We will discuss this tomorrow, and we will discuss a few more passages in the session that is going to that will be tomorrow. Right. It's a first year preparing for UPSC, Mahesh. All the very best, guys. Whosoever is here who has started preparing for UPSC or who has been preparing for UPSC, guys, I think these sessions will prove very helpful for your preparation. They will give you an insight into the subtle tricks, the criticality of the question and how to analyze the answers, eliminate the options, and then find the correct answer every time. Guys, how was the session? If you liked the session, guys, please press the like button. And if you're new to the channel, you can also subscribe to our channel so that you do not miss any videos. So guys, we have regular sessions on CSAT paper. We have quantitative aptitude sessions, we have reasoning sessions, and we have English sessions. English sessions are on Thursdays and Fridays, guys. Right? And guys, if you have any query, you can also drop us an email at hello@civilstep.com. And our contact number, you can also call us on this number 81462 for any other inquiry, guys. We also have a dedicated course for UPSC CSAT for paper 1 and paper 2 separately and collectively as well. So you can, if you wish to avail, you can also avail that course. That is, honestly, quite, descriptive and quite helpful in preparation of your UPSC paper, guys. Right. दृष्टि is a good book, Mahesh. विशाल्स is a good book. मृणल में कई बार आपको बड़े डिफरेंट से ओपिनियन मिल जाते हैं, बट आई थिंक विशाल एंड दृष्टि, ये दोनों बुक्स अच्छी हैं टू प्रिपेयर फॉर यूपीएससी. Thank you, Naveen, for joining in. I know, Lankapalli Naveen, I know it's difficult for you to understand Hindi, but I'll try to be bilingual, guys. Right. So thank you so much for joining in the session, guys. Thank you, Ramesh Hassan, for the kind words. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Juhi. Mahesh, thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Sneha. Right. Thank you so much for the kind words, Naveen. Solar eclipse, thank you so much. Thank you, Khushi. Guys, thank you so much for joining in the session. You can watch it again and answer the homework passage in the comment section of this video, right? So I'll take your leave and I'll see you again tomorrow with a few more passages to discuss, right? Thank you, Naveen. Thank you, everyone. टेक केयर गाइस, बाय बाय, एंड हैव अ गुड डे.